Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Bean reporting from Saratoga. We're heading into week 6. We're going to review consonant clusters, otherwise referred to as blends. And then we're going to move into a new book, A Surprise for Mom. Okay, so remember when we're using this linking chart, it's going to be 2 consonants that you blend together to make one smooth sound, like per as in pretzel. Okay, I'm going to give you a word, and then what you're going to do is you're going to report back to me what 2 letters make that sound in the word. The first word is going to be switch, as in a light switch. So what you're going to do is you're going to scan each row and look for that sw sound. And when you get to it, you can write it down so that you remember it to report back to Mrs. Bean. The second word is going to be glove, as in she put on a glove before grabbing her baseball bat. Glove. Okay, make sure you write down those 2 letters that make that blend. Nice job. Okay. Boys and girls, this is the book that we're going to be reading today, A Surprise for Mom. We're going to take our sneak peek picture walk. Now, I noticed that these are not drawings. I noticed that these are photographs. Think about what we talked about what photographs sometimes mean. Is that usually a fiction or non-fiction book? Fiction books mean fake or a made-up story, and non-fiction means real. Sometimes it gives you information about a person from history or a person we know of currently, or it could also be an informative piece of a how-to, maybe how to make cookies. We're going to take our sneak peek picture walk to see if to get acquainted with characters, people in the book, a setting where this takes place, and what this might be about. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Let's talk about our chart. Good readers always check through an entire word, get their lips ready to make the beginning sound by looking at the first few letters. If the word is too challenging, sometimes we skip the word, read on, and then go back and use the context, the word around it, to make sense of what that unknown word is. And our last strategy is that we refer to the picture. We don't rely on the picture or the photograph, but sometimes that gives us a little bit of help. And then we go back and check that unknown word. Let's get started. You're going to read along with me today. We're going to work on scooping 2 words at a time. Dad and I went to the market. We wanted to make a surprise for Mom. We got some tomatoes. We like to eat tomatoes. And how did Mrs. Bean know that? I looked at the beginning of the word and I referred to the photograph. So I tried it out. We got some, I used that beginning sound and the photograph, carrots. We like to eat carrots and tomatoes. Look at that word eat. That's a vowel team word that we should already know. Two vowels go walking. The first one does the talking and says E, and the second one is silent. Eat. We got some what are these, boys and girls? Potatoes. We like potatoes. Then we're reusing that word, carrots, and tomatoes. So we're going to reuse or use again several of those words from the beginning of the book. We got some peppers. We like to eat peppers and potatoes. We like to eat carrots and tomatoes. We got some corn too. We like to eat corn, peppers, and potatoes. We like carrots and tomatoes too. Dad and I went home from the market. Dad got the big pot. He filled it with water. I got the big spoon. There's a nice blend, that SP for sp and spoon. It was time to make the surprise for Mom. And Mrs. Bean remembers that from our title. Dad put some tomatoes in the big pot. I put some carrots in the big pot. Then Dad put some potatoes in the big pot. I put some peppers, there's the pepper right there if you forgot, in the big pot. Then Dad put some corn in the big pot. And I stretch through this word, mixed the soup with the big spoon. Soon the soup was hot. Mom liked the soup. She loved the surprise. And there's our speech bubble. Mom saying, something we say when we taste something very yummy. Boys and girls, Mrs. Bean stressed this word loved. Does anyone know why? Think about it. When we see a word in darker print, which is called bold, we emphasize it and use more energy or stress on that word. She loved the surprise. Okay, boys and girls, I want you to think back. I have a few questions for you. I want you to think back and remember you can go through and replay if you need to. Who are our characters or people in this book? And then I want you to think about several of the items, foods that they bought at the market. What were they making and for who? Then I want you to report a text-to-self connection. What does this book remind you of? Make a personal connection about maybe something you did or made for someone else. Okay, this is Mrs. Bean signing off. See you next time.